Kia has never really been a strong player in the full-size car market, but with shrinking sales in this segment and more people flocking to crossovers, Kia isn't giving up on their Cadenza. For 2017, the Cadenza gets a full redesign to make it a much more competitive and stylish vehicle that promises to be a much more appealing package. So let's go ahead and check out and take a closer look at this 2017 Kia Cadenza. Now, despite the K900 being a large car, it's actually not the most expensive or the largest car in their model lineup. That title belongs to the K900. However, it does slot up above the Optima in terms of its size and price. And I really do love the looks of the new Cadenza here. It's very stylish, certainly has its own unique design language. And I especially love the rear end of the vehicle with very sleek looking taillights. And of course you do have the Kia Tiger Nose front grille, but overall it's a really stylish looking sedan here, certainly one of the most stylish sedans in the class. Now here goes the key fob design for the Cadenza. Pretty good looking key fob as well. I love the gloss black on it. You do have your lock, unlock to release your trunk, and then your panic alarm. Now this color of the Cadenza is known as the Gravity Blue. You also do have smart key access on the driver's door and the front passenger door. And on the interior here, we do have a full-on black leather interior with contrast stitching. You also do have a power driver's seat with power recline and power lumbar. Now stepping on inside of the Cadenza here, as you can see, this is a beautiful interior design. I love the wood grain interior trim, certainly gives it much more contrast inside of here. Then you also do have this glossy black trim running throughout the whole interior too, but it's a pretty good looking interior. And we have a more basic Cadenza here in terms of its trim level. It's the premium trim level, which is the more basic trim. You do have push button ignition, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a 3.3 liter V6. You have a full leather wrapped steering wheel. And coming to your transmission, you have an 8-speed automatic with manual shiftability. No paddle shifters here though, but when you put the vehicle into reverse, this will display your rear view camera with guidance lines as well as trajectory. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the headlights. You also do have your fogs and the hazards. Let's go ahead and check out the exterior of the Cadenza. Automatic driver's side window. Let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators. Blind spot detection is optional. And you also do have these pretty good looking 18-inch alloy wheels. And up front, you'll find halogen projector beam headlights with LED daytime running lights and halogen projector beam fogs. Now powering the Cadenza here is a 3.3 liter V6 engine that produces 290 horsepower at 6,400 RPM and 253 pound-feet of torque at 5,200 RPM, with EPA estimates being 20 in the city and 28 on the highway. Now, this V6 engine is your only powertrain that's available, and it only comes in front-wheel drive. All-wheel drive is not available, but it does produce an okay amount of power, but it provides pretty leisurely acceleration, especially with other large cars in the market that offer V8s, such as the Dodge Charger as well as the Chrysler 300. Now, competitors of the Cadenza, you have the vehicles in the full-size car market. This includes the likes of the Chrysler 300, Dodge Charger, Chevrolet Impala, Toyota Avalon, and the Nissan Maxima. Now, trims of the Cadenza start at the base premium trim level, which is what we have. That starts at $31,990. The mid-trim level technology starts at $38,990, and the top of the line limited starts at $44,390. Now on the front windows here, they are acoustic, which does reduce interior noise quite a bit. Coming to the rear of the vehicle, we also do have LED taillights, which look fantastic, as well as dual exhaust tips and a shark fin antenna. EPA estimates, like I said, 20 in the city and 28 on the highway, which is pretty good for a full-size car. You also do have the total vehicle price, which is $33,035. Overall vehicle score from the government 5-star safety ratings hasn't been rated yet, and the final assembly point for this vehicle is in Korea. Coming to your basic power accessories, you have your power windows, door locks, power mirrors, of course. Nice stitching on the armrest. Interior quality is improved for the most part inside of the Cadenza for 2017. You will find plenty of soft touch materials in here, even in our base premium trim level, like on the armrest and the mid door panel, as well as the upper door panel. Dashboard is all soft touch too, and you have this nice molded stitching, which gives it a more high quality vibe inside of here. Build quality is what really improved over the last generation Cadenza. Everything feels much more sturdy inside of here and much more refined. This interior feels better put together, you know. It's well built, much better built than the last generation. Now coming to the steering wheel design, it's a pretty good looking steering wheel. I love the black gloss trim. It certainly makes the steering wheel pop a little bit more, and it's a 3-spoke design. Pretty sporty looking too, and I love the molded stitching around the airbag cover. Coming right here, you do have your Bluetooth phone controls, steering wheel mounted audio controls, as well as your voice recognition. And then right over here, we have your cruise control, as well as your controls for the information center, which I will get to in just a minute. Down here, you do have your storage cubby, which reveals a USB charging port, auxiliary input, and 2 12-volt power outlets. You also do have dual cup holders and 3-staged heated seats for the driver and the front passenger. Now I have to say that the Cadenza is pretty well equipped for $33,000 in our base premium trim level. And you also do have your center console, okay amount of space, but it is lined with felt, which is nice. And you also do have a removable tray, auto dimming rear view mirror, and your sunglass container, as well as your map lights. Now on higher end trim levels, you can get a panoramic sunroof. You can also get LED lighting for the map lights and stuff. There's plenty of options for the Cadenza here. And you also do have dual zone automatic climate control. You have your temperatures, as well as your fan speeds, and your front window defroster, rear window defroster. And down here you also do have your controls for the Kia Uvo system. And you have glove box. One thing I'm not a big fan of is this clock right here. The digital clock just looks a little cheap to me. It looks like it came out of 2006 rather than 2017. Now coming to the Kia Uvo system here. Now this is your base head unit, and it's pretty intuitive and responsive. And this is your main menu right here. Now you also do have the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto capability on this, but coming to your different audio sources, you do have all of the norm: AM, FM, XM satellite radio, Bluetooth streaming audio, and your USB port with iPod integration, as well as your auxiliary input. You can also access your media just by pressing on this button right here, and you can go to your radio by pressing on that button as well. Let's get back to the home screen. And if you go to all menus right here, this pretty much reveals everything else, such as your Apple CarPlay, your Pandora internet radio, your phone. You can hook up your Bluetooth phone. What's pretty cool about this head unit is that you can also swipe like this, which makes it have a tablet-like feel. Feels very natural. And then you also do have your voice commands, your SoundHound Uvo E services, which is like your roadside assistance, vehicle diagnostics, and your parking minder, which you have to subscribe to that. And then you have your setup, which you could change many different settings. You also do have onboard Wi-Fi inside of this vehicle. Like you could change the display, your clock, all that basic stuff. But overall, it's a pretty responsive system and easy to use, but this is your more basic head unit. Now, if you step up to the higher end trim levels, like the limited trim level for the Cadenza, you might fool people into thinking that they're riding in a luxury car like a Lexus or maybe even a Mercedes, but it can be quite nice inside of here when you load up the Cadenza. Now, coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster, fairly traditional looking setup. Now, you can go for a TFT instrument cluster if you would like, but in our premium trim level, you do have this basic looking information center, but it gets the job done here. On the right, you do have your speedometer as well as your fuel gauge, and on the left, you have your tach as well as your coolant temperature. And in the center, it'll show all of your vehicle information, such as your tire pressure. You can also change the lights, sound. You have your service intervals. Also shows your trip info. There's lots of different settings that you can change here. You also do have a digital speedometer, which is cool. And then it shows you what driving mode you're in. Gives you your average fuel economy, all that good stuff. But overall, it's pretty basic, but it does what it needs to do. In terms of visibility in the Cadenza, it's okay. Seeing out the front windows is pretty easy. Seeing out the windshield is okay, but when you get to rear visibility, it can be a little bit of a challenge due to that high window base back there. That can be a little bit of a problem. The seats in the Cadenza are also fairly comfortable. They're pretty supportive, but also very plush feeling too. And they hold you in place pretty well, which I like, and thigh support is excellent. Overall, these seats are very comfortable in the Cadenza. I'll certainly take a long road trip in this vehicle. Now, as far as the way the new Cadenza drives, now this vehicle drives a little bit better than the last generation Cadenza. It certainly is a little smoother riding, but not by much. The ride can be a little stiff at times, even though this is supposed to be more of a comfort-oriented sedan. And if you're looking for more driver engagement, I suggest checking out the Dodge Charger or the Nissan Maxima. The handling of the Cadenza is pretty middle of the road, and it doesn't feel nimble. It's not going to make you want to throw this vehicle around corners. And this vehicle, you know, is pretty easy to drive. Anyone can pick it up real quick, but it's not groundbreaking in the way it drives. The 3.3 liter V6 also provides leisurely acceleration, but at least it's pretty fuel efficient with this new 8-speed automatic transmission we have here. That's pretty refined overall. But the Cadenza really reminds me of the current generation Toyota Avalon in the way it drives, and the fact that it's not really groundbreaking in any kind of way, and it's kind of middle of the road in the way it drives. You know, provides an okay ride quality as well as okay handling. It doesn't really stand out in any kind of way in the way it drives, but at least it is okay in its fuel efficiency. But there is also no other powertrain that's available yet on the new Cadenza. There's no V8 if you're looking for more power, and there's no hybrid or more fuel efficient option available. That's a little bit of a problem. Like the Toyota Avalon has the hybrid available if you're looking for better fuel efficiency, and the Dodge Charger as well as the Chrysler 300 have upgraded powertrains if you're looking for more power. All right, let's go ahead and shut down the Cadenza. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Now, trunk space is pretty small in the Cadenza, but you do have a cargo net, and like I said, the seats do not fold down back here. Interior materials do follow through in the rear, which is nice. Now, sitting back here in the Cadenza, you do have rear adjustable headrests back here. The seats, however, do not fold down, so if you need a car that has 60/40 split folding rear seats. You won't find that in the Cadenza. You do have a rear center armrest, however, with cup holders. And you do at least have a ski trunk pass through. But I was pretty surprised to find out that it doesn't have rear folding seats. You also do have dual map pockets, rear air vents, and a 12-volt power outlet, as well as a USB charging port. Now there's plenty of legroom back here in the Cadenza. I mean, it feels very large back here. Headroom could certainly be a little tight, just like with the front occupants, but there's plenty of legroom to just stretch out. And it's nice that this center tunnel right here is not too big, so you could fit 3 adults back here pretty comfortably. All right. So the 2017 Kia Cadenza is a okay choice for a large car with its pretty large interior, and that's also very luxurious, especially in the limited trim, and its new 8-speed automatic that provides pretty good fuel efficiency, as well as its pretty elegant styling that's also pretty sporty looking too. However, if you're looking for a car that's more fuel efficient or more engaging to drive, you may want to check elsewhere. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.